And away we go. It is the nightcap, Sunday night edition here on BearcatJournal.com, live from the Cincy Light Studios. This show brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar. Hail Mary's located in Cheviot. They're on Harrison Avenue, right on the Dora district, so you can go from bar to bar with your drinks, but no need for that. Just hang out at Hail Mary's. 27 TVs, 9-screen video wall. There's not a bad seat in the house, and they subscribe to every sports package that DirecTV offers. They can stream all the games, and Cincinnati sports will always be on the video wall. Head to Hail Mary's Wednesday, 7 p.m. as the Bearcats travel to Morgantown. Must-win game against West Virginia. Brand new walk-in cooler, brand new draft lines, and not only do they pour the coldest Cincy Light around, they do so in 32.8-degree frosted glasses. All right, Aaron, let's get this show on the road. This is our Sunday night Big 12 look back or a rewind, if you will. But we got to get to something else first, Aaron. Something much more important than the Big 12 rewind. Bischel ball is here. Bischel ball is alive and well as the Bearcats open the season on the road in Durham, North Carolina against the number 11 Duke Blue Devils. Friday night, 8-3 Bearcats. Saturday, 12 innings. They lose 6-5 on a walk-off homer in the bottom of the 12th. But how do you respond to a little bit of adversity? Well, you respond by beating the hell out of Duke 19-5 today to close out the series in Durham with a win. This is massive, I think, for the baseball Bearcats because you're in a position now. We have seen them go on the road for many of these type of series at the beginning of the season, and they might sneak one out, but I don't recall them winning a series of this magnitude to kick things off and rocket ship the momentum going into season number 2 for Jordan Bischel.
And they did it in all sorts of different ways. They hit the ball deep. They played small ball. They bunted for singles. They bunted for RBI. I mean, they stole a whole bunch of bases, so much so that the Duke coach was mad, and he could have run ruled the game, but decided not to. Credit to our own Tim Adams for being there on site with all of your sights and sounds and recaps there in person. But that's a hell of a way to start your season.
I mean, they had one bad inning on Saturday that kind of cost them a game they probably should have won. But other than that, they dominated Duke. Like, they dominated Duke start to finish in that series outside of that one inning on Saturday. So they took 2 pitcher starters that are supposed to be All-American candidates, you know, 2 of the best starters in the country, and had both of them out of the game lightning quick. Got into Duke's bullpen. I think they actually asked Tim if he had a couple innings in him towards the end of the game today, is how bad Cincinnati kind of took it to their bullpen. But, man, he is Jordan Bischel is not messing around. They make a statement, and we're going. Somebody asked me today, is it too soon to start doing baseball aftermaths?
I saw that.
Not yet.
I saw
that. But boy, they have my attention, Aaron. They have my attention.
Yeah. Outscoring the 11th ranked team in the country, 32-14 over 3 games. That'll certainly raise some eyebrows.
Yeah. So there you go. They were supposed to have a game Tuesday. I think the high is projected to be like 20 degrees. So that game is canceled. They will head to Vegas and then San Diego this weekend, this coming weekend. They'll have 4 at UNLV Friday through Monday, and then 4 more at UC San Diego the 27th through March 2nd before coming back for their home opener March 5th against Toledo. So Stay tuned. If you don't know, we have a baseball board on BearcatJournal.com. It is mostly free content, and it is a great place. Sign up. You don't have to be a member. We would like you to be a member, but you don't have to. Jeff Gentle does some writing coverage there. Tim Adams does some coverage there. So you're not going to find any baseball coverage better than what you get at BCJ.
Also, every Monday we do have a mailbag that if you have baseball questions, you can feel free to dump them in there. And we usually try and as long as they're in there early enough, we usually try and reach out to the people who do cover the team for those answers. So we're not just trying to wing it off the cuff or anything.
All right, let's get rolling with Big 12 this weekend. Started off with a monster game in Tucson. Houston started a little slow, but they just keep clawing and fighting and finding a way. And they handle Arizona 62-58. They outscore them 37-28 in the second half. And boy, the Cougars look like now that Milos Uzan at point guard is starting to really come on. We thought they needed that extra guard to really start to step up to complement what they already had in place with Cryer and Jawan Roberts. Uzan is giving them that. And there was a period from like the 8-minute to like the 4 or 5 minute mark where they just said, Arizona, you're not scoring. And we're going to go ahead and move ahead of you. And then you're not catching us. And we're getting the hell out of here with a win. And they did it.
Caleb Love looked to rebound off of a dreadful performance in Arizona's last game where he only had 6 points. In this one, he goes 6 of 15, 1 of 8 from 3 for his 17 points. 7 assists. I don't know that I'd call that a bounce back. He's trending in the right direction, but I think this team is going to continue to go as Caleb Love goes.
And I was talking to somebody about that today. I want to believe Arizona has a chance to make a run to a Final Four, but that would include Caleb Love not having a bad game for 4 games. And
I agree.
I don't have confidence in that. I think he can be incredible one night and then 1 of 8 the next. So I want to believe more in Arizona, but man, Houston is starting to cook. Uzan had 19, LJ Cryer had 15. Roberts with 9, Tugler with 8, Archino with 7. They spread it out quite a bit, but they get the job done, and they are now 2 games clear at the top of the conference.
One more stat on Arizona. When your top 2 scorers have 30 points and collectively are 10 of 27.
Yeah,
that's a mess.
Not super efficient.
1 of 11 from 3.
Efficient. Yeah. Keeping it moving, Texas Tech destroys Oklahoma State on the road. That was in Stillwater, 93-55, 43 in the first half, 50 in the second. JT Toppin with 32 after he had 40?
And 12.
Yeah, 32 and 12 with 3 blocks. Marcellus Avery with 13 for Oklahoma State. Boy, when Texas Tech is hitting shots offensively, they are just a monster.
You don't want to think that Oklahoma State's given up at this point, but I think, truthfully, I just think Texas Tech is playing too well.
Aaron, they made 16 threes. 16 for 37 from 3.
You look at a score of 93-55, and I'm just saying I don't think that Oklahoma State's given up on this season. We've seen some fight out of them recently.
Yeah,
I think you probably got to a point in this game where you gave up because what the hell else can you do?
3. They made. You'll love this. This is the Aaron stat of the week. Texas Tech made 16 threes and 14 twos. I don't know that I've ever seen a team make more 3s than 2s in a game.
Yuck.
But when you're shooting at 46%, fire away. Bombs over Baghdad, baby.
43.
What?
43%.
Okay, whatever. The shocker of the weekend. Utah. 74-67 over Kansas. Boy, Gabe Madsen with 24, shot it well again. Kansas is 5-5 in their last 10. They are not trending in the right direction. They spend more than pretty much everybody not named BYU in this conference in roster building. And they didn't do a great job building that roster last year. And they didn't apparently do a great job building that roster this year. It's time to ask some questions, some difficult questions about the Jayhawks, Aaron.
Well, the compiler he was 4 of 12
Yeah.
from the field for his 12 points and 7 rebounds. They continue to start KJ Adams over Flory Badunga, which is a little head scratching at this point because you saw success when you had Flory in there. I don't know if it was just the matchups or if this is just the way that you want to go.
KJ was hurt. KJ was hurt when Flory was starting.
There was still a game or two where he was on the bench to Flory
They were bringing him back. Yeah, they're not going to throw him straight back into it, but I got to look at it. I mean, they're not playing well, and Flory gave them a little bit of a spark. That I love KJ Adams, but it's not going great.
Zeke Mayo continues to be the best player on that team. He leads Kansas with 15, but enough about Kansas. The real story here is just Utah did what they needed to do, which is bananas to me. 11 of 34 from 3 on the game. Ugh. They shot one more 3, I believe, if I'm mathing right, than twos.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
no, 34 to 29. 34 threes, 29 twos.
63. Anyway, I don't feel good.
It's all right.
But yeah, Utah. I don't know if you're Bill Self. What do you do? Are you going to just continue to stick around? It's not as if he doesn't have job opportunity. Whatever job he wants, he could probably line up. Do you stay at Kansas?
Where's he going other than Kansas?
You can go to the NBA. You could go. Kentucky tried to lure him away. Did they not?
Kentucky's not going to be open for where are you going if it's not Kansas? You're going to pull a Coach Cal and go somewhere Arkansas's level?
Well, that I still don't know if that's going to end up working out or not. But
of course not.
I don't know. I think that the carousel will be interesting.
I don't think Bill Self's going anywhere, but they got some questions to answer because that right now does not look like a team that can make a deep run in the tournament. Baylor holds on at home 74-71 over West Virginia, much to the dismay of UC fans everywhere, as that game went so long that the national audience almost missed the entire first half of Cincinnati, Iowa State. It was a good first half. But Baylor gets 4 of their 5 starters in double figures. Langston Love and Norchad Omier with 17 each. Robert Wright with 16. Jalen Celestine with 10. The only guy not in double figures was VJ Edgecombe, who had an off night with 7.
If I told you that 4 of 5 Baylor starters scored double digits,
yeah, I would have lost my ass that Edgecombe was the one that didn't. Yeah. You are correct.
Unbelievable.
Javon Small with 22 for West Virginia, but he was 2 of 10 from 3, 7 of 16 from the floor, 6 of 8 from the free throw line. So that really is what kind of saved his numbers. He had 6 assists, but only one other guy, Toby Akani, the only other guy in double figures with 19. That's, West Virginia now 6-8 in the conference, 15-10 overall. They're going to be desperate Wednesday night. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that one plays out. How about it, Aaron? Standing ovation. Tad Boyle, Colorado. They are no longer defeated.
They did it.
76-63. They beat UCF by 13. Where's Berg at? Talking about how awesome what UCF was doing is this year. They have now been defeated by the only team that didn't have a win. Sorry,
And
Johnny Dawkins.
Who better to lead Colorado in a win than our boy, Andrzej Jakimovski?
15 points, 7 rebounds. Keyshawn Hall with 19 and 9 for UCF. TCU goes on the road and knocks off Arizona State 74-70. James Posey's kid leads TCU with 20 and 6. Jaden Quainton's still out.
bench.
Sean Phillips had a good game for Arizona State, 12, 8, and 3, but he was a mess down the stretch. He made a couple key mistakes in the final 2-3 minutes of that game that allowed TCU to maintain their advantage. And don't look, TCU's 7-7 in conference. That is a testament to Jamie Dixon, because that's not a great roster.
No,
it's not a great roster
at 500.
Yeah. And then finally, the hottest team in the country got cold water dumped on them. BYU dump trucks Kansas State 80-65. Doug McDaniel at 22 for K-State. Richie Saunders 17 and 14 for BYU. It'll be interesting to see if Kansas State can get back on track, or if this was the thing that kind of derails their season a little bit. Again,
in an 80-point win, Trevin Nell went 2 of 5, 0 for 3 from the arc for his whopping 4 points.
I love your commitment to the bit, your obsession with Trevin Nell. Looking ahead for the rest of this week, a pair of games on Monday this week, Kansas State and Utah at 9 on ESPN2. And then a pretty interesting one, Arizona at Baylor at 10 on ESPN. Tuesday, Colorado at Iowa State, Texas Tech at TCU, Houston at Arizona State, Kansas at BYU. Keep an eye on that one. Kansas at BYU. And then Cincinnati, West Virginia on Wednesday at 7, and UCF, Oklahoma State at 9 Wednesday on ESPNU.
Did you look at the spreads for Kansas State, Utah, and Arizona, Baylor? Kansas State, Utah is favored 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mind boggled by it. Arizona, Baylor is favored 1.5. Also mind boggled.
Without their center, and I screw up his name, so I don't want to say it. I can't imagine Baylor, unless they're just hot as shit from 3. I can't imagine Baylor keeping up with Arizona.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
All right. That wraps it up. We'll see you tomorrow night on the BBP. That is the Nightcap, brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See